Hello and welcome to Horrible Horror, where I put my life on the line for your entertainment. In 1980 there were two werewolf movies that seemed to battle for the title of modern werewolf classic. Those two films were An American Werewolf in London and The Howling. And while my vote goes to An American Werewolf in London as the better of the two, The Howling definitely kicks a lot of ass by playing the werewolf myth completely straight and just, taking it seriously. Whereas American Werewolf poked a little fun at the genre while it was at it. But of course, we can't allow a classic to stand on its own in this world, and so it had a lot of, to put it mildly, less than great sequels. The first of which being Howling II, Your Sister is a Werewolf. So let's watch this thing and see how quickly a franchise can take a nosedive when it really wants to. Your mom is a werewolf. Your mom. Oh my god, that just never gets old. Hey, you stay out of this! So we start out at the funeral of Karen White, the main character of the first movie who got shot on national television. And once it's over, a woman is told she has to cover the story of all the bodies found at the clinic where the last movie took place. But before she leaves, she sees freaking Christopher Lee talking to Karen's brother.
Let me give you my card. Call me, please.
Why don't you just get the hell out of here?
I will drink your blood for this insolence, mortal.
Mr. Crossgo,
Miss Templeton,
how do you know my name?
I've seen you on television.
What do you know about the death of Karen White?
I know that she is a werewolf.
No shit, Sherlock! Did you figure that one out all by yourself? It's not like she revealed that very fact on national freaking television. What are you gonna tell us next? That she was a woman? So after being told what we already knew, we cut to a nightclub where Lee, sporting the most pimp pair of shades I've ever seen, seems to be spying on a black lady. She rides off with a bunch of bikers to some ruins with promises of happy fun time. But suddenly...
Ah! What the fuck's going on?
I love how he's not even hurt or shocked or anything. He's just slightly irritated that someone broke a bottle on his head. I could probably just watch a whole movie of these two idiots getting random shit thrown at them. It's just so satisfying to watch. But surprise, surprise, she's a werewolf and starts munching on the bikers. Once lunch is over, we cut back to Jenny and oh lord, I just noticed who that guy playing Ben is.
Roll fizzle beef.
Rep Brown? Rep Brown and Christopher Lee are in the same movie. Rep Brown and Christopher Lee in the same movie. Well, now I've seen everything. They visit Lee, who explains that because the silver bullets that shot Karen have been removed in the autopsy, she's now buried alive and is, well, a werewolf. Naturally, Beat Punch Beef calls bullshit, at least until Lee shows him the tape of her getting shot. Which everyone saw on television in the first movie's ending. What, you're gonna tell me her brother didn't hear about this until now? With the power to randomly generate photo boards, Lee then explains that the werewolf woman we saw earlier had been ordered to get Karen out of her grave by the werewolf leader, a woman named Sturba. Also, silver bullets don't work on Sturba, only titanium. What, it's not kryptonite? I mean, surely she must be some kind of super wolf? Lee continues delivering exposition, informing us that the next full moon will mark the 10,000th birthday of the werewolf leader Sturba, and that will somehow cause all werewolves to gain their beastly forms at once and run amok. After leaving, Fist Rockbone realizes that Christopher Lee, I refuse to call him by character name, plans to drive a silver stake through Karen's heart to prevent her from joining the werewolves. I guess he wanted to be on the other end of the stake for a change. So if Karen's alive, why is she just lying there waiting for Lee to strike? What, did they take a vampire movie script and just change it to werewolves? What the fuck happened? That's like if Godzilla was suddenly weak to silver bullets. On their way, Big Mac Large Huge and Jenny encounter a werewolf that's been spying on them, but in true Red Brown fashion, he just blasts it senseless. It doesn't stand a fucking chance. They manage to stop Christopher Lee, but that's a mistake as Karen wakes up and lots more werewolves show up out of nowhere. They manage to fight them off and press one of them for information about Sturba's whereabouts, before killing that one too.
Where are you going?
Find Stirba. She is responsible.
Steph and I'd like to go with you. I want to make sure that what happened to my sister never happens to anybody else again.
Is it me, or did he get over the fact that he just shot his dead werewolf sister really quick? And then they head to Transylvania to find Stirba. And on the way, Splint Chesthair here works a bit more of his charms.
Where are we? It looks like we just passed this place before. Like we're driving around in circles.
Of course it does. You're driving.
Women can't drive. We then cut to some weird werewolf ritual that involves Stirba swallowing a soul to regain her youth. Because, you know, her brand of super werewolf can apparently do that. She then takes two other werewolves to a room and hello!
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
So, while these werewolves have their gross little threesome, Jenny and Blast Heart Cheese find a hotel room. Thankfully, Jenny brought along some Oh, fuck you!
Just in case.
Garlic? Garlic? What the fuck good is garlic gonna do? Will you get your fucking myth straight, you jackasses?
You see that dwarf staring at us?
Yeah.
Should we follow him?
Why not?
Why yes. Anyway, they follow this mysterious dwarf, and he takes them to a church where they are reunited with Christopher Lee and his ragtag team of werewolf hunters. Their plan is to wait around until they spot the black werewolf from earlier and follow her to Stirba. And until then, just enjoy the festival. Brick Heartmeat spots the woman at the festival and follows her back to their hideout. And just as he thinks he's gonna take out the guard... Okay, that was pretty awesome. Poor Rib though. His first starring role in a werewolf movie, and he gets upstaged by a guy who looks like freaking Rumpelstiltskin. Sadly, they only barely get inside before they are spotted and must run for it. They get separated and the dwarf falls victim to Stirba's howling spell. That's probably what the producers looked like when they saw what they'd been pouring money into. In the meantime, Jenny is lured into the woods and nearly raped by a werewolf, though Stirba stops him and kidnaps her as bait for Christopher Lee. She does this by giving her a necklace to a child at the festival and make Lee follow her just before Bulk Vanderhuge returns. Lee follows the kid into a building, but it turns out it's actually the dwarf that got killed earlier. As he tries to kill Lee, Flint Ironstag runs to the rescue. That's for stealing my action scenes, you little shit. And so, in the only smart move in this movie so far, the two head back to the church to get the rest of the werewolf killers and arm themselves with titanium weapons before they head off to storm the castle.
What's that?
These are our weapons. Prism, the consecrated oil. Wax from the sacred candles to protect our ears. A dagger forged from titanium. And a chalice which held the sacred blood of Christ.
Don't you have any more conventional weapons?
Oh, yes.
A pen. This is a class 4 grenade. 3 clicks, arms the 4-second fuse. Another 3 disarms it.
I'll take that. I know how to use this.
Meanwhile, at the werewolf rock concert orgy or something, Stirba sends out all her minions to kill them before they can reach the castle. and soon we have a showdown in the woods. Just look at Reb. He carries that big-ass rifle, but he's just so badass he takes them out with a handgun. Oh, and the priest deserves a little mention too.
I kick ass for the Lord!
But just as they are ready to move on, thinking they fought off Stirba's forces...
Exorcizote! Immundissime spiritu!
Holy hand grenade, motherfucker! Wouldn't it have been nice to have Lee around during the Night of the Lepus? He would have gotten everything solved so much faster! Finally, Rip Steakface gets his awesome moment as he blasts the final werewolf that attacks the priest. Lee then decides that now is a good time for them to split up. He'll handle Stirba and leave saving Jenny to buff Hardback.
How will you destroy her?
The power of evil is not limitless. There are greater forces.
Yeah, way to dodge the question, you enormous dick! God, he must have driven his teachers insane in elementary school. Christopher? What is 7 times 3? The power of math is not limitless. There are other subjects. Stirba, less than pleased, sends her remaining 2 minions to fetch Jenny, and is soon approached by Father Florian, ready to take her out with his axe. Oh no! A cheap prop! My only weakness! Meanwhile, the werewolf that tried to rape Jenny earlier unwillingly transforms on their way to the dungeon, ready to repeat the process when... Finally, Lee shows up to fight Stirba, but not before they exchange some witty banter.
Finally. We meet again.
For the last time.
Well, it happened. The movie just ran out of dialogue. So then Stirba casts a spell that seems to hypnotize Lee as he slowly approaches her and wraps his arm around her.
Come, my beloved Stefan. Let us take our fill of love.
In the name of God.
And thus ends the single most anticlimactic showdown to ever feature Christopher Lee. And with that, the convoluted mess that is Howling II finally comes to an end. Well, what can I say? This thing is fucking ridiculous. It makes no sense, the special effects are laughable, and it keeps mixing up vampire and werewolf myths for no good fucking reason. The one saving grace are those minor little moments of coolness, but even that can't save this crap. There's actually a rumor that Christopher Lee, when he started Gremlins 2, walked straight up to Joe Dante and apologized for being in this thing. And you know what? I can understand why. This is Horrible Horror, where I put my life on the line for your entertainment. And I'm out of here.
Cruel, cruel moon, please don't come out tonight. 'Cause when you do, my Emily Lou and me are gonna have a fight. They say the full moon's meant for lovers, but you're gonna break my heart. 'Cause when you shine, that baby of mine will turn into a werewolf and rip out my throat and kill me. 4 weeks ago, me and Emily Lou were on a North England tour. Late one night against advice, we went a-walking on the moors. She thought she saw a doggy underneath the full moon's light. But when she tried to pet that doggy